like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello. This thing on my face and it's hurting. Hello. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Look, this is my last video about this damn R. Kelly interview with him and Gayle, and I wanted to bring a little light to the situation because I was laughing all up and through this interview, and I'm like, I got a man like his mask, and this because he's a character. Robert Kelly is a whole character, okay? But thank y'all for tuning in, and let's just quickly discuss, this last interview or whatever. Girl, y'all know I'm petty. Anyway, when I can't see with that shit on, I couldn't put it on over my glasses because it was pushing my glasses on my face. That mask is not a mask I wear often. Anyway, Halloween costume. I hope everybody had a great Friday. If you did not see this interview with well, tonight on CBS, okay, they aired more of the interview with R. Kelly, and they kind of had other stuff with it. I will say you did not learn, like, it wasn't a whole bunch more that was on there. Like, they still played some of the stuff from what we saw before. What it looked like they did was they went ahead. Oh, hello. So all my Jaybirds, dun 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? And do not forget, I will be live this Sunday at 6:30, and we can talk about all this. And we can talk about all this stuff. Okay. So again, it wasn't too much new stuff, but they did kind of lean into more of what he was saying. We've seen a couple of interviews that they've done since the stuff aired. We see they talked to the Savages and to the both Azrael parents and Jocelyn parents. Or was it Joycelyn? Whatever the girl name. I think it's Joycelyn. I think it's pronounced Joycelyn. So it was that kind of stuff. But I mean, he was look, bruh. I don't know who his attorneys are. I don't know what lawsuit they went to. I don't know who his publicist is. I don't know who his manager is. I don't know who anybody is on his team. Clearly, he still can't read and write to know this ain't what he's supposed to be doing. I don't know how they convinced him, talked him into. I don't know what happened. No one should have suggested that he do this interview. This interview made him look way more guilty, and they're definitely going to use this interview from stuff that he said and stuff that Joycelyn said and stuff that Azrael said in his trial, because it was a whole bunch of foolishness, okay? Foolishness. So, you know what I'm saying? We see the beginning of start off when he want to play dictionary. If you watch me enough, you know I've said this before. Playing dictionary means a person know what you mean. Okay, but they want to play dictionary to say which word you should be using, even when they know what you mean. So Gayle is like, you know what I'm saying, with the accusations against you. What accusations? I'm like, this nigga here. She's like, we know that you like young women. No, those are rumors. And she's like, well, there are also allegations. It's kind of the same thing. Allegation is a rumor. It's all that. Well, no, we got to be clear what rumors is. I'm like, nigga, a rumor and an allegation are very similar. But he can't read and write, so he don't know that. I'm like, he don't know the allegation. He don't know the allegation. He don't know what to say. He trying to make it seem as if what she's saying is not true. Or he feels like if she said the word allegation, it means it's true. No, Negro, an allegation and rumor can be the exact same thing. The allegations came from the rumors because they're kind of the same thing. I'm like, but whatever. Okay, he then, because she asked him, you were in jail, you got out of jail, what made you? What made you go from the jail to the McDonald's? Because they said the McDonald's he went to was the one where he had been picking up all them girls back in the day, okay? He then say, have you been to jail, Gayle? She's like, no, I can say I've never been there. Okay. I was hungry. Okay, I got out and I was hungry. Okay, I wanted a Big Mac, a fry, and a Coke. Ain't no crime in that. And she's like, okay. And she then says, you know, back in the day, I love my mom, okay? And me and my mom would go to McDonald's, we would get Danishes, okay? Danishes and coffee. I'm like, coffee? Y'all, when would you, okay. And when did they ever sell Danishes? I don't think McDonald's ever sold Danishes. But he 52, so I don't know. I'm only 37, so I don't know what McDonald's had before I was born, so let me shut up. Anyway, he then says, so I went to McDonald's because the M in McDonald's stands for mom. I say, this nigga, what? Did you just tell me the M McDonald's means mama? No, it doesn't, nigga. It means McDonald's. Okay, Ronald McDonald. I'm like, what? I bust out laughing. I had to post a clip of it on my Instagram. I was like, this nigga need an HBO comedy special. He said I went to McDonald's because the M in McDonald's, it means mom. And I love my mom. And McDonald's is my favorite restaurant. Now, had he left it at, well, that's my favorite restaurant, it was close, I would have said, you know what? That could be true. People get out of jail and they want to go, to the closest place to get some food because they're hungry. But when this food went as far to say, the M in McDonald's, it stands for, no, it does not stand for mom. Negro, it does not. So then we see a little later, because I'm not going over anything they said in the other, look, I ain't going over nothing they said in the other two reviews because I talked about it already. Gayle brings up how, because he's saying, all these people saying things about me, they lying on me, they saying this, it looks like you're playing the victim, Robert. It looks like, you're playing the victim. I'm telling the truth, okay? You haven't seen me in, and he called himself. Okay? He went from, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling the truth. You haven't seen me in no, nigga, you lying. And he caught himself. He said, well, because we have seen you in videos, okay? We've seen you in a couple videos, okay? But I definitely seen you in at least one video pissing on a child. Anyway, so from there, she goes to ask him about him being controlling the women in the other video, in the documentary, saying how he's a very controlling person. He says, I'm not a controlling person. I'm not a controlling person at all. But I am in control in my household, okay? And in my household, I am in control, and I am the king, and whoever lives with me is the queen. But again, he's the king. I'm like, well, then you're controlling. You just, if you control your household, then you have some controlling things. They then show the ladies in the documentary saying he would make us do this, make us do that. We couldn't go anywhere without asking him. I would have to knock on the wall, thump on the floor, all these things they had to get permission to do because he controlled them in one way or the other. And how they weren't allowed to speak to people, how they couldn't look at people in the face, they had to look down, look at the wall, not interact with people or whatever. They then even showed the girl, Dominique. Dominique is the girl from the documentary who was there. Her mom went and got her. Okay, her mom was on here saying, he's a drug, he's a bad person, you know what I'm saying? Because he was also saying how he don't, starve the girls. They don't need permission to go eat. So the girl Dominique's mom said, my daughter left to go with him. She was like 125 pounds. When she came back, she was 98 pounds because he wasn't feeding her. You know what I'm saying? Because she couldn't eat. And so she lost a lot of weight. And I was like, well, the mama said it. So he may not be able to afford the food. He ain't got no money. You know how expensive it has to be to feed your harem of women? It got to be expensive. They have different eating habits. Anyway, he also again brings up how, you know what I'm saying, no, it made me laugh because, the whole thing of him saying how he doesn't know what a code is, but he doesn't have one. So for me, I kept laughing because they showed the hog tie thing again. I don't know how to hog tie nobody. I can hog that somebody. I don't hog that. And I said, but how you, if you don't know what a code is, but you know you don't have one, you could have easily hog tagged someone and did not know what it was called. You illiterate, bruh. You can't read. You don't know all the words. My thing is, you could be doing things that you don't know the word for it is. Okay. Anyway, they do show the girlfriends again, saying how, you know what I'm saying, they know Robert. They've known Robert for years. You know, Josh said, I've known him for 4 or 5 years. And you know what I'm saying, these allegations against him are not true. He's a good man. That's a good man, Savannah. Okay. He's a good man or whatever, and how they love him. Now see, we then see Jocelyn's parents. And you know what I also want to say? Well, I'll get her in 1 second. So we do see Joycelyn's parents, okay? And you know, they say how seeing her in the interview made them sick, and it was horrible how they couldn't believe it. So we see that Gayle and them went and interviewed the parents after the interviews aired. So again, this is a little bit of new footage put in there. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? She brings up, cause Gayle say, seeing how R. Kelly, you know, was on trial, you know, for whatever back in 2002 through 2008. Why did you even allow your daughter to be around him, knowing what he had been accused of back in the day? The dad, and I think, well, one of the parents said, you know, well, he was found not guilty in 2008. So for us, we never thought he would have any kind of interest in our daughter, sexually or relationship-wise. You know what I'm saying? We separated, you know, the man from the artist. I will say this. I can understand if someone goes on trial for something and they're found not guilty and you didn't see the video that I saw, how you can think he didn't do it. You want to know how I know he didn't do it? Because I didn't see the video. Two, the girl who they said was in the video did not say it was her. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt back then. When they said he was found not guilty, the girl said it wasn't her. We didn't think anything about it, and we didn't think that he would like be with our daughter, probably because his daughter was too old. Anyway, so they then bring up, well, how old are you, Mr. Savage? He's like, I'm 45. R. Kelly 52, and he's like, yeah, that's a crazy age. The dad said, you know, for us, it's not really the age of them. It's an issue that we feel like she's been abused by him on a daily basis, and I'm like, it's hard to not look at everything from now, okay? Because now we know R. Kelly ain't shit. Now we know well, I've known, okay, it is what it is. But you know, we see things differently now. So the parents again are just like, I can't believe, you know, he even got with our daughter. But I'm like, okay, we say so. We then see Azriel parents saying how no, we see Azriel saying her parents were trying to get R. Kelly to invest in a food truck. I'm like, a food truck? A food truck? They want a food truck? Okay. You know, she brings up again how they only want money. And I'm like, not only that, if y'all notice the interview that she was on yesterday, she wasn't crying no tears. She was pulling her R. Kelly. Okay, you see, ain't no tears in that girl's face. And as I was watching today, and they were showing the scene again of her, you know, getting emotional, I say, well, she not crying. She was making a crying face, making a crying noise in the throat. Okay, but she wasn't actually crying. So I'm like, again, I feel like in one way or the other, you know, R. Kelly has showed them, okay, this is how you get emotional and you make them feel some kind of way, and the shit don't work. So I'm looking like, girl, wasn't no tears come out them eyeballs, okay? She's using her crying voice. So, you know, they say Azriel daddy denied all allegations of, you know, him trying to get money and all the stuff about them blackmailing both the Savages and I can't remember what Azriel's parents' last name is. The last name is of him, but they both deny any allegation of getting money from R. Kelly, asking for money for R. Kelly, contacting him and blackmailing him. Or they denied all that when Gayle asked them. And, you know, we have never asked him for money. He has never given us any money. He has never paid us off. We never sold our daughter. None of that stuff is true. And we believe y'all. Okay, we do. And it's weird because it's like, Jocelyn, how do you know what was going on? It's just weird that Jocelyn is co-signing with Azriel is saying, Azriel co-signing with Joycelyn saying. But I'm like, he wasn't he with y'all at different times? Like, didn't he get with y'all at different times? And it's just weird. And we know they brainwashed. We know they have a script to go by. We know that when they were in their interview, he was there, letting them know he was there. So, you know what I'm saying? Girl, we don't believe y'all. I said before, them girls not victims right now. Right now, they wholeheartedly want to be there because they crazy. And someone said it the best. In about 15 years, both of them girls gonna have their own goddamn documentary about what they went through. And it's gonna be, oh, I cannot believe how confused I was back then. I can't believe I said my daddy was trying to sell me. I can't believe I was talking to my mom on the phone and we'll talk to my sister. Like, they're gonna have their own story to tell in about 15 years. Hell, that might be why they stand around now. I don't know. What I do know is it's crazy that they are still there. Girl. The Savage Daddy say, you know what I'm saying? Because they ask, like, what do you think should happen with R. Kelly? I think he needs to rot in jail. Yes, they deserve that. I hope they burn in hell. Time to kill Samuel L. Jackson. So we see that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, they then ask him about like how he's been accused of. He got any artist can be accused of this kind of stuff. Anyone can. Gayle said, I don't think that's true. There are a lot of artists who are not, accused of being sexual predators, and messing with young girls. You know what I'm saying? He said, right. And don't you find that strange? No, Robert, it's not strange that a lot of people aren't accused of sexual not molestation, sexual being a sexual predator or talking to young girls. That's not strange. That should be normal. There should not be tons of people being accused of it. It's a handful of people that it happens to. It ain't that many. But your accusations are backed up. And this is the thing. He really keeps saying these rumors. Nigga, it was a tape. These allegations, these rumors came from an actual videotape, actual footage of you on it. Not only that, there are two new tapes. There are two new tapes of you having sex with underage girls. These are not rumors. These aren't out the blue accusations somebody made up. No, they came because you've been doing shit for a long ass time, bruh. And that's what's going on, right? You're getting caught up. Okay, caught up in the rapture of you, nigga. Okay. And I'm tired. I'm sorry I'm saying nigga so much. Anyway, but when he asked Gayle, like, don't you find that strange? She was like, no, it's not strange that other people aren't being accused of that. That's not strange at all. They then, it's like from there, it's kind of switched. I got confused. I felt like, I'm like, is it a breaking news story? What's going on? But some white lady started talking, and they then bring up the old allegations and how he kind of got to this point. They bring up him marrying Aaliyah. They bring up the singer Javante saying how she walked in on him having sex with Aaliyah, how she also witnessed him have sex with another girl who was underage, and she crying again because she was crying on the documentary, and she said she feels horrible because like I feel like I allowed him to get away with it because I never said anything back then. It's like I allowed him to continually, you know, take advantage of young girls because of my silence. And you know what I'm saying? But again, she said the same thing she said in the documentary. We do see they ask R. Kelly like about his music in general. And he brings up, well, I got my music is kind of sexy. I'm saying it's a little freaky. And Gayle say, and it can be pornographic. Well, I wouldn't say that. I would. Sex Me Part 1 and Part 2 is pornographic. Okay, 12 play is kind of pornographic. Bump and grind, you know what I'm saying? It's you can definitely call that musical porn. Okay, I don't see nothing wrong. It's porn. Okay, Sex Me is porn. Sex Me Part 1 and Part 2 is porn. Your music is pornographic. Okay, you might not see titties and dick and ass in it, but you talk about titties and dick and ass and vagina. Okay, vagina. So, he also brings up how she asked him, like, are you two different people? Like, is there R. Kelly and then Robert? He's like, oh, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. She's like, well, not that. He like, I think that's what I said, R. Kelly, shut up. Shut up. Anyway, he brings up how, well, no, you know what I'm saying? It's all me. I'm all me. He says Robert R. Kelly used to go out and sing the song, but he's still Robert. He said it's the same way that a cop who puts on his uniform is still a person, but when he puts on his uniform, he goes out and do a job. I agree to a certain extent. I do feel like people have to have a second persona. Like, you have animated Jay Lee, everything, whatever, but you also have I be chill, and that's my friends like, oh, that's Jay. You know what I'm saying? Chilling or whatever. Like, you do have to have a turn on and a turn off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Beyonce, her alter ego is Sasha Fierce. So like, I'm like, for him to be acting like, well, no, I'm one person. We not saying like, are you physically, metaphoric, like a blood, flesh and blood to people, but we know you do have two sides, okay? There's a good side and a bad side. Anyway, he like, I'm just Robert. No, you're not. You two people, okay? You be doing things when you're not supposed to be doing things. They again bring up his money. And about how is it that he is R. Kelly, and he had the $350,000 in the bank, but he couldn't get access to it to get himself out of jail, and he said, well, the bank don't do that. I'm like, they do they give you access to your money, okay? And I'm like, why did it take 5 to 7 days to transfer money from one account in your name to the other account in your name? Unless you went, well, I mean, if you went on a Friday night, maybe, okay. And I've never had to transfer more than like 7,000 from one account to the other, but I still feel like it should not have taken a week to transfer 350 grand. I don't know. Did you go to the bank and try to get a loan? I wonder if he went and tried to get a loan for the money, and it would take that long to process a loan, not his own. I wonder if it's a loan, girl. He out here lying. Anyway, he then explained how the ladies in the documentary are all lying on him. They lying, Gayle. They lying. They liars. Okay. He brings up how some of the women he did have relationships with. He says, with some of them, I can't even remember. She's like, oh, is it because you have had so many women? He says, no, it's because it was so long ago. But this is my thing. It's because you was out here fucking so many people. Because there are people who I had sex with years ago, forever and ever ago. And if I saw them, I would remember them. Like, I would say, oh yeah, that's the one his dick was slim. I know him for a fact because he was popping Molly, and it was just horrible. And I never talked to him again. And he was ashamed of himself because he should not be doing drugs. Anyway, TMI. But I'm just saying, like, you if you haven't had, millions of people, you won't forget. I'm like, you probably was just having sex with so many people you don't remember. Or you know exactly who they are, and you just don't want to deal with it, bruh. That could be what it is as well. So she like, so was it that many women around? Well, it was women. It was girls around. I mean, they wasn't underage, but it was girls, bro. Yes, they were. They completely were. She asked him about his song, the I Admit song. She's like, what did you really mean by the song? This fool said, no offense, but a 2-year-old could understand it. That question doesn't make any sense. Nigga, you can't read and you 52. You can't tell anyone that nothing does not make sense. You are illiterate. Okay? Bro, I said, who the fuck is he? You talk to Gayle? To Gayle, my nigga? Oh, Robert. She like, look, okay, that's fine, but explain it for everybody over 2 years old, okay? Like, don't even do that, nigga. Don't even do that. He brings up how it was me expressing my feelings on how I felt. You know what I'm saying? You can hear what I admit to. She then says some take it as a confession. He then say, that's the problem. People be assuming things and putting their meaning on other stuff, and that's not what you should do. I said, first of all, this again proves how he can't read and how he's illiterate, because a confession and an admission and it admitting to things is the exact same thing. It's the exact. That's how R. Kelly keep getting caught up. He don't know what because he don't know. He's stupid. He's stupid. This fool said the song was me expressing my feelings and you can hear what I admit. She then said, okay, yeah, some people take that as a confession. And he said that's the problem. People be assuming something is what they be assuming that ain't what it is. I'm like, no, nigga. When you say I admit it, that's a confession. It's a confession. Okay, maybe you should have said, if no, no, I won't say if I did as OJ. But again, I'm like, he's stupid. Okay, and that's kind of the end of the interview. Really, they ended by just saying how R. Kelly isn't the first man to be with young women. They bring up Dre Lee Lewis, who married his 13-year-old cousin, and he was blacklisted from the radio back then. They brought out how Elvis Presley started dating Priscilla when she was 14 years old, but his fans accepted it like, oh, that's his prerogative. They brought up how Ryan Adams, who I guess is a recent artist, I don't know who that man is, but how he has been accused of sexually exploiting fans, and his tour has been canceled. They bring up how Lord Jesus, James Brown had been accused of abusing his wife, and he, still out here in the music business. They bring up, I mean, hell, I beat Tina. Chris beat Rihanna and had a whole. He's still catching hell for that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if I can take anything from this long ass 3 days worth of interviewing of R. Kelly, um, he's stupid. He's stupid. He's guilty. And he's slowly but surely telling on himself. He should have never done this interview. And a lot of people are like, why aren't they interviewing? Where's the Harvey Weinstein this? Where is this person? Look, most people who are accused of these things don't talk. They don't say shit. They get accused of it and they shut the fuck up. Think about this. Jussie Smollett has shut the fuck up, okay? He ain't said nothing. Don't say nothing, okay? And if you have the right to remain silent. Everything that he has said that we have scrutinized and laughed about and shook our heads and thought it's horrible, it's crazy, he's guilty, he's innocent, or whatever thought may be. The reason that we're even able to have the reason we're able to do this is because his stupid ass, excuse me, went and did an interview. He contacted the news people and said, I want to tell my story. He did this. So it isn't like anyone is objectifying him or anyone isn't pointing finger at only him, and it isn't he's being scrutinized or whatever. He chose to do an interview. Not only did he choose to do an interview, he also included the two girls who are being labeled as victims. Okay, those girls don't have no media training. And you can tell it because Joycelyn didn't say much of nothing. Not much of nothing. And when they were lying, they kept getting caught in their own lies. The fact that Azriel said, my parents made me take photos with him and do sexual things with him. But then she stopped herself and said, well, they tried to make me. No, she said because she did these things with him and she's trying to put it on her parents and not R. Kelly. Joycelyn on the phone with her sister, the reason she kind of got frazzled is because she wasn't expecting that. Okay, R. Kelly thought, okay, let's get on. He's been getting away with it so long. I think he felt like and the nigga was singing. He was, oh, I got some good songs. You know what I'm saying? I did this song. Give me that honey. I'm like, nigga, why aren't you singing? You are on here for messing with kids, and you gonna bring up your songs and sing a little ditty. I said, oh, this Negro here, the nigga tree going on here, and it's sad. It's sad because I believe he's guilty. I believe he's guilty solely based off the fact that I saw the first videotape. Okay? Do I think he kidnapped Joycelyn and Azriel? Absolutely not. Do I think he has manipulated them, brainwashed them to make them feel like they have to stay with him? Absolutely. It's a reason that Azriel is so angry. She can't go nowhere. And she feel like she can't go nowhere. So she's upset. That girl ain't up. And the thing about it is when R. Kelly goes to jail, because I do not believe he will get off from this. Okay, I do not believe it at all. I think the last case was when he was at the height of his career. He had money to pay people off. The internet was different. People didn't know things. Everyone now is aware of everything. And what they were not aware of, his antics and him going on and flailing all about. This is what people do. When people lie, they get extra. They yell, they curse, all that fake crime, Beijing scalp, you know what I'm saying? 8 ball rub over the head, all that bullshit. You even see Azrael try to do the same thing. Get upset, yell, cry, all that stuff. It made him look guilty. It made him look guilty, and it made it look like he taught them how to do his tricks. When things get too tough, start crying. If it get too tough, get a little bit. If it get too tough, just say the same thing, that your parents are the ones blackmailing us. I'm like, first of all, they can't blackmail him. He ain't had money in years. When he go to jail, both of the girls, for probably the first 6 months when he leave, they're gonna do a couple different interviews here, there, and everywhere. And as people kind of forget about them, and I don't mean that in a they don't matter way, I mean in a way of they no longer will be attached to him. They're going to then unbrainwash themselves some one way or the other, and in about a year from there, they'll do another sit down interview about how they were so confused and how he had them hoodwinked and bamboozled and all of that. It's gonna take for him to go to jail for those two women to eventually wake up, and they will do their own documentary. They will have their own story to tell. But I don't feel like I will have sympathy at that point in time, because everyone was trying to help you, and you shut the door on everyone. But it's R. Kelly's fault. He put himself in the spotlight when he should have just shut up, not shown the shit, because now the prosecution have more evidence. Anyway, y'all, I didn't mean for it to be this long, but it was. Hope y'all enjoyed. I will talk to y'all on Sunday. Peace.
He's like love, 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 and music.